Hey guys, Huzzy here, bringing you another video, this time on Annie mid. Now, I wanted to do an Annie one, basically because she's kind of on the hype train right now, and I wanted to see for myself why is this, the case. Now, Annie is one of the most easiest mids to play, so firstly I'll say if you're a mid laner looking to pick up maybe another champion in your pool, or you're someone that's never played mid, Annie is a really good starting point. She is very easy to CS with, which I'll go on to a second, but she's very easy just in general. She has a resistance shield that'll help you survive. She has a W AoE cone just to do quite a lot of damage in AoE, and then obviously her biggest thing, her bare tibbers. Now the biggest thing with Annie, because her spells are fairly easy to hit most of the time, is when are you going to use that stun? On what spell? Are you going to use the stun on the Q just to freeze one person, or are you going to use the the stun, sorry, on the W to stun many, or are you going to use it on tibbers, but you could miss it. It's just something like that. You have to kind of make your own mind up, and yeah, you'll get it with just playing quite a lot of League of Legends on Annie and just League in general. Now, I took W for one specific reason. I'm against a Fizz in lane, and basically a Fizz, even at level 1, basically level 2-ish as well, means that he can go on me quite easily with his Q in, with an E out, potentially. That would do a lot of damage to me in the early stages of the game. So I'm going to just basically charge my stun, just so I can hold it until level 2, so he can't come up to me and just do free damage. It's basically like, hey, you can't come up to me really close. Now, obviously, normally you take Q at level 1, but for this specific matchup, I did take W. Now, going on to the easy to CS with, Annie is extremely easy to CS with simply because of her passive. Now, obviously, her passive, yes, it has the stun element to it, that when you build up 4 stacks of just casting spells, that means that you will have a stun available on one of your spells, not including the E, but the E does count to a stack. The big thing with Annie with CSing is when you have Q, and if you last hit with your spell Q, you'll get mana back. Mana return full amount on the Q. So you should never really be on Annie in lane. Blue is still good on Annie, don't get me wrong, but yeah, you shouldn't really be or you should be at least around half mana all the time. Now, the one thing I have to say about Annie compared to other mid laners, her attack range is really, really big. I'm not entirely sure how big it is. It's easily over 500. But it's extremely big for an AP carry. A lot of them don't have very big pulls. Now, bot lane, you just saw the enemy got first blood, so that was a bit of a low blow. But then Nami picks up a double kill. And I think Lulu got the first blood, so it's not a complete disaster. Now, we're going in for the Fizz, but unfortunately, Troll Pole is a kind of a huge counter. Now, I am going to Flash, and I do go for the kill. Now, I do know he has Barrier, but I still think that might have picked it up, because Barrier does not have a huge shield at level 1. But unfortunately, it does manage to get him. Maybe he was chugging a health potion as well, and that managed to, save him. But unfortunately, I do blow my summoners on not a kill, so I've got to be a bit careful for a gank on myself relatively in the next 3 odd minutes because I don't have flash. But I'm just going to push this wave as quick as possible because I thought Fizz is backed, but then he didn't. Now, this is questionable that he's not back because he's at really low health, and if he makes a mistake, I'll probably just kill him. But I do understand why he didn't. Now, this is a lot of CS to miss, and XP, but basically, I'm standing right on top of it. I'm basically going to force him not to get most of it. And this is something you have to do when even at any level in the game, just deny your opponent as much as you can, even if this means the gold from these minions. Now, he comes in, tries to do something to me, but then I kind of just do some free damage to him. Now, I should have actually auto-attacked him once or twice there. Now, a big factor in this game is this Kennen. Now, you will see later on in this game that this Kennen does make a big impact, a very big impact on the outcome on this game, in a positive way for his team, unfortunately for us. But don't get me wrong, we do win this game. As you guys know, I put commentaries up that I pretty much always win, just to show you what to do in certain situations. I don't want to show you, oh, this is how you lose. I want to show you this is how you win. And that's basically the specific reason. Maybe I should make a series going close losses or something and what we could have done better. That might be something in the future I could do, as they do happen quite a lot, as they're in the 20% games, them ones, and for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, 20%, what the hell's that? It's the thing that a guy who Chaos was mentoring said. Well, Evelyn comes from a gank, and yeah, it didn't go very well. But a guy who Chaos was mentoring actually said 40% of ranked games you go in will be automatic wins because the enemy will have a troll or a lever or they'll rage themselves into total chaos in their team, which is true. and then 40%, the other 40% is automatic losses because you'll have the troll or you'll have the lever or the rager that will make the team go into chaos. And I found that is actually pretty damn accurate. And then you have 20% left, which is you personally having a big impact on the game if you're going to win it or not. And they're the games that, them 20% are the games that if you're going to go up in league points or down in league points, that is the 20%. And we tried this out, me and some friends, like actually seeing, is it correct that this is the right, around the right math? And we have to say it is. A friend of mine recently just started solo queue, and he is actually pretty much dead on. 40% are pure wins, 40% are pure losses, and then the 20% is the one that he does well in and they win the game, or he does bad in and they lose the game. But nobody rages or trolls and stuff. So it's a really accurate, I think it's a really good, fresh approach to go into ranked. If you go into ranked knowing, okay, there's a 40% chance I might really lose this game, then you won't get mad. And that's one thing I have to say. Try and control your rage. I understand people do it. Hell, there's going to be a Renekton commentary in the next couple of days, and yeah, someone rages on our team and it was not very nice, and you just need to control yourself, because one thing I question is, are you like this in real life? If not, why you like it now? I'm a very calm person in real life. I'm a serious person, but I'm never going to rage and shout at somebody for something very minor. I'd only rage and shout at someone if they did something wrong. Now, Fizz engages on me in a really weird situation, and I'm going to pick up the kill, and there you go. So Annie getting a kill on a Fizz is pretty good in lane, I have to say, because a Fizz should be able to either kill Annie in one before she gets Rod of Ages, or, yeah, Fizz should win this matchup, technically. But if you play a pretty good Annie, if you play a fairly safe Annie at the start, which I did, that's why I took W so he couldn't go on to me getting free damage. Then I forced him out of XP, or not XP range, just gold range, when I denied him all them creeps. That's the kind of smart play you have to do. It's fairly basic, it's not very advanced play, but it's just using your brain and just thinking, right, what can I do to screw this guy over? And that's what you have to do in mid lane, and any lane really, that's what you have to do. Even if you're not directly getting kills at the start, try and get any advantage you can, sorry. So again, just in the mid lane, getting some mana. Obviously, using my full combo has made me relatively no mana, but using that Q to farm will mean my mana still regens, and I'm still getting blast hits, as well as using spells. Now, the build. A lot of people have picked up Annie recently, and I have seen kind of bad builds. Now, it's questionable, some of them, that what people do, but basically the most optimum build that I know, and many professionals agree with, is, excuse me, Rod of Ages first item. This, to me, is a very good item for Annie, basically because it gets her tanky. Annie is a champion that hasn't got a massive spell range. A lot of the time you have to flash in with Tibbers, but a Rod of Ages will allow you having tanky, and actually gives you a lot of damage. After Rod of Ages, then it depends how fed you are, but if you're just average, and this game, I'm fairly strong in this game, don't get me wrong, when I get to that stage, I'm actually very strong, but not that strong to get Death Cap second. I get Void Staff second, because Void Staff is actually a very cost-effective item for the stats it gives. It gives, around, I think it's around 80 AP, and then it gives Magic Pen. So it's a very good item. It might be 60 AP, actually. I'm not entirely sure. I can't really remember right now. But it's a very good item for the cost. It doesn't cost that much. It's around 2,000 gold. So yeah, it's a good item, and a lot of people don't actually build it at all. But if you are looking for Magic Pen, if the enemy is building a lot of MR, or you just want to make sure in the middle of a team fight, it doesn't matter who you hit, you're going to hit them hard, then getting Haunting Guys and a Void Stuff and Sork Boots. I'm sorry about my throat today, but yeah, getting them eventually would be a great idea. Now, he's going on me again, and I don't understand why. He gets a bit of free damage on me, but basically when he doesn't have Eon, he can't do anything. And as you can see, his damage is basically nothing right now. I can just heal it up straight away with a health potion. So he's at not a very good state right now, this Fizz. Now, he is again looking for an engage, and again, I do not know why. I get the stun on him, and if I did the stun with Tibbers, I probably would have got a kill there. Jarvan is looking to come in for a gank, and here's when I just dodge the Fizz out, move back into lane, and he completely whiffs it and misses. So again, as you can see, I'm pressuring him out. If he comes close, I might be able to kill him, and he can't risk it. So it's a pretty damn good stage. to be against a Fizz, because a Fizz should be dominating in lane, a presence that basically is, if you come near the CS, I will jump on your face and kill you. But he's not doing that. He's not being able to play Fizz the way he wants to play it. Right now, picking up the blue buff, which will help me somewhat. It's more CDR than mana regen on Annie, but still it's pretty damn good. Returning to mid lane, just picking up CS again. Game's kind of slowed down somewhat. Not much is going on. Fizz has backed off somewhat. But again, top lane is the lane that really has made the difference in this game. Obviously, I'm doing fairly well in bot lane. Our bot lane's doing okay. I think at this stage of the game it's relatively even. Now, as you can see, my damage is actually pretty high without actually having much AP items. I've got 2,100 gold in the bank, and that's quite a lot just to hold, to be honest. Now, Vayne does pick up a kill, so really good job. Darius goes down again, but then Vayne does pick up a double kill. She does go down, but she does pick up the double kill, so that is definitely worth it. Now, Jarvan is moving down with her, so I just basically block him off so he can't do anything, just in case my team was a bit low or anything like that. So Fizz was relatively near mid. I'm not entirely sure where he is now, but I've decided to go back and base. Going to pick up some items. Now, I did make a small blip in my build, but it did actually pay off. Now, I bought a second Doran's ring, which I would normally not do if I'm going Rod of Ages. I'd only take the one as my starting item, then build straight into Rod, so it doesn't delay it. But it actually got me the kill on the Fizz. It gave me the tankiness and the damage to actually get that kill, so it is worth getting that item. Normally I'd say not to get it, but in this situation it did actually work out fine. Returning to mid lane, now I forced the Fizz to get a Negatron cloak. That's pretty good, to be honest. Now, he is actually going aggressive with me, and again, I do not know why. I'm baiting out Izzy and waiting. Flash Tibbers onto him, use my combo, and then there's another kill for myself. So I don't know why he's trying to fight me on the stage. He bought a Negatron cloak. He'll have no damage against me, and I'm going to have still quite a lot of damage, even though he has that Negatron cloak. And Annie has very good damage. Anyway, without AP, as you were seeing when I was doing damage to the Jarvan, but now I've got AP, pretty good scaling, and that's why I'd recommend Annie to, anybody that wants to pick up a new mid laner, or, just try mid lane, as it is a lane that's pretty damn fun. I might be slightly biased because I do main it, but I find mid lane very fun, and it's a very key role. It's not the easiest role to learn inside and out. Now, it is questionable of what's the easiest role to play in League of Legends. I don't actually think there is one. A lot of people ask me that question, but I don't think there is one, to be honest. I think it's all situational. You could be very good and then come across someone better, and then that makes your lane hard. The roles do not change. Now, excuse this, Twitch, every single video something happens. And there we go. Hopefully that's fine now. I don't know what it is. It's just Twitch VOD replays. Occasionally they just go blackout and stuff. But this Kennen, again, just picking up another kill on the Darius. Now, the Darius did choose to go into Kennen with Darius. We did a swap. Someone did a swap for a champion, and he picked Darius going into Kennen, which I think's okay, but he built Darius wrong. He started with the normal stuff, but then he went back and got a longsword, I think, after his first death, and that's questionable. Don't build damage first on a Darius, because it's not needed. Darius has very, very, very high base damage, and it's not needed. He can build like a Sunfire first item and still kill most of the stuff into lane. Now, Hexdrinker might have been an okay option with the longsword, but even that doesn't give you the tankiness he needed. He needed like a giant spell or something just really beefy so he wouldn't go down all these times. And because he's been dying multiple times, it's just put him further back as the Kennens continue to get farm, and Darius obviously being denied that farm. Now we are looking to go bot lane, seeing if we can do anything. Now I am getting my stun up ready for the Fizz, seeing if we can do some free damage onto him. And Vayne, I think, uses E, and Fizz uses E as well, so unfortunately we missed that. Now, there's a fight, I think, maybe potentially coming soon, or not, maybe it's not now. No, I head back to mid, going to pick up the CS. Don't know where Fizz is actually gone right now, so I do have to be a bit careful, I suppose, because if Jarvan and Fizz went on me, that might have been a bit of a tricky situation. But even still, I think I would probably end up with one kill if both of them went on me. Returning to mid lane, just trying to pick up some CS there, and basically going to push this mid out, I think, from now. Trying to get that tower might be a good option for me because if Fizz, as you saw, he wanted to have like a little roaming opportunity. As he is being denied in mid lane, he needs to look for roaming opportunities to get any gold he can. And if I get the mid tower relatively soon, that probably will deny that opportunity. Now, the Darius, as you can see in chat, he is actually raging a little bit, but honestly, I don't think he can rage because he did this to himself. It wasn't a jungler walking into his lane, feeding the kill to him. Nothing like that. He literally just died to a Kennen one-on-one, no jungle presence or anything, and he's just let Kennen snowball from there. So as I said, I took the mid tower, so now I'm going to continue that push on it, to be honest, and bot lane did actually get killed, which isn't great, but I'm going to head down there anyway and see if we can do anything. Now, here's where I make a small mistake, which I have to work on. I should have pressed shield right now. If I press shield and then Tibbers, then I probably would have been able to get the stun somewhere in there, and we probably would have picked up a free kill on the Lulu. Evelyn is fighting the Tristana, and Jarvan also comes in, but as soon as they see me, they kind of just back out, because right now I am actually very strong. I got a 13-minute Rod of Ages, which is pretty good timing to get it at, to be honest. Pretty fast, and yeah, they don't really want to fight me, but Kennen has actually found his way down near the bot lane, which is a problem for us. Kennen being, I think, 5-0 at this point. Now, obviously, there is... Darius isn't going to be worth as the full amount of gold in all them kills. He's probably going to be worth about 150 gold right now, being 0-5. But yeah, Darius has not had a good game. Now, I don't know why he's mid, if I'm honest. They could clearly see that they weren't going to try and do Dragon, and his lane is actually in our territory, so he really just needs to push that out. Now, I have two mid currently. Fizz uses Troll Pole to just clear the wave, which I think is arguable as a Fizz. You want to be very careful. If you're a Fizz player and you use Troll Pole to actually CS, be very, very careful, as that will lead someone to actually go on you. As you can see, my flash at that point was about 20 seconds off. If he didn't know the timing and if that was up, I could have flashed Tibbers, engaged on him, and actually got a kill. Now here we're going in for another fight. Now here's one thing that really confuses me. Look where Kennen is. I don't even know how he ended up there. He must have just snuck around, as we don't have vision there. But still, he got there very quick, and I don't understand now. So right now this is a 4v5. Or 4v4 type of deal, but I think it turns into a 4v5 straight away. Get the kill on the Tristana. Evelyn manages to pick up the final kill. Again, I burst her, but then she picks up the final kill. Evelyn's still going to move in. She picks up the triple kill. Fizz misses his ult, and Fizz is coming straight for me. So I'm going to try and kite as well as I can, but as you can see, Kennen is making his way back into the fight. They're both trying to get me as well as they can. And then Kennen gets me and then flashes straight out. So unfortunately, I go down. But for a 4v5, we did really, really well. So without Darius, Darius is pushing the top lane. He actually gets that tower. So we come out, better than we came out. So Kennen now is 7-0. But honestly, that's okay. And that sounds really dumb to say. But having a Kennen 7-0 means most of their kills are on one champion. Where our team, they're kind of evenly spread, apart from obviously the Darius being very weak at this point. But they have a Kennen that's very fed. If he's not in any fight, if I manage to blow him up or something happens that he can't get his full damage in, then we're in a very good situation because they don't have a lot of gold on the rest of their team. So right now I go back to base, pick up my Sork Shoes and a Blasting Wand, which will be building into a Void Staff. As I said, you can go Death Cap second, but you have to be very rich, and I mean very rich, more so than I am now. More so than 115 CS, 18, 19 minutes, and more than 2 kills and 4 assists. I'm talking about maybe 6 or something kills. Returning to mid lane, and I find a Kennen and a Fizz here. Blue is up, so Evelyn was going to head over there, but yeah, we need to protect this mid lane. I don't want this mid tower to go down if possible relatively soon. Now, Fizz hasn't really touched it. I think that might have been just a minion wave that got to it once or twice. So yeah, doing okay. Now, here comes another fight, and here's where you're going to see me whiff my ult. And now it does happen. You can't have a perfect ult every time. Now, there is Fizz ult, and that did no damage to me. So, as you can see, I'm in a pretty good situation. And whiff. Totally missed my ult, but I'm not going to fail this opportunity to still remember to use your Bear Tibbers. Now, put Tibbers into the middle of the team fight if possible. Now, right now, he's actually in a good situation, so I don't need to move him around. But if you are in the middle of a team fight, make sure your Tibbers, by pressing R to control him, is actually in the middle of a team fight, because it will really, really help. Now, I'm bringing Tibbers over to do the dragon, as he's basically, the way I describe Tibbers, he's a walking Sunfire cape. And what I mean by that is, sure, he has initial burst, but even if you miss that, he still does damage. He does about 100 per tick ish, depending your AP scaling, I think. But if you put him in the middle of a team fight, 100 odd per tick, it's actually a very good ratio, and it's not something to be, frowned upon or missed. Make sure you use it, as you will be doing a lot of damage. Now, there you go. It did, I think, 35 base damage and 80 odd for my AP. So that's a fair amount of AP. If it has a 0.5 scaling, that's a pretty amount. If you get like 600, then he'd probably be doing about 300 to 400 per tick, and that's pretty damn good. So yeah, Tibbers is a very, very good spell in the game, not just because of the initial burst. Now I'm going to go back to base and pick up a Void Staff, which will increase my damage somewhat, as well as having me, more Magic Pen, so it'll increase my damage against everybody on their team, not just because of the AP, just because I can burn through their MR. So this Lulu is a bit ragey, to be honest. I think quite, I don't know what the word is, cynical maybe, in the fact that the Nami is actually doing really well with vision. Now, the Nami did actually whiff her ult quite badly several times. She hasn't hit amazing ults. She's done about, I'd say, 4 of them that I've personally seen. I think she hit 3, or no, she's missed 3 of them, sorry, which isn't a great ratio, but she's done a very, very, very good job in keeping vision, keeping oracles on her, so they deny the vision. Obviously, we have an Evelyn in this game, so having denied vision with vision wards is basically essential if you want to win this game. And we are looking to have another fight now. I'm a lot stronger, obviously having 220 AP. It's not a huge amount, but it's a an amount that is pretty damn good. So Kennen is actually moved into the pit. So we're actually going to move across, I think, and try to cut him off. If we got there a second or so quicker, then that would have been great. But here we go, moving in, got the stun up, and they clump. Darius pulls 2 of them in, and I absolutely obliterate both of them. Darius picks up 1 kill with his ultimate. Then here comes Nami ult, and it hits nobody. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. She doesn't do great ults this game, but just the presence of vision is good enough, to be honest. As a support, if you are visioning up, making sure that they can't even see into their own jungle, then you're in a pretty good situation as a support. Obviously, the better you play yourself is obviously a bonus, but you don't have to be you don't have to be mechanically amazing to be a pretty damn good support. Obviously, it's a bonus if you are, though. So I'm going to move Tibbers into under tower range so he can tank it just before minions arrive, as this is a pretty good way to use Tibbers, as he won't be doing a lot of damage unless he's in the middle of a team fight. So just using him to tank up the turret is a fine thing to do. Now, we did come out positive on that team fight. Now, I think that was Fizz or Tristana that got caught, but she did manage to make her way out. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Kennen just got zoned by his own Jarvan. Jarvan used his ultimate, so Kennen could not get in, which I find pretty damn funny. But it's something that will happen if you do have a Jarvan on your team and there's lack of communication. So our team relatively is, I think, all alive now. Evelyn does go down, unfortunately. I think she had Ignite on her. Now, they are all really low, so I am looking for a Q snipe relatively soon. If I could get one, that'd be great. Now, I don't know. Well, Fizz does actually pick me up. I don't know if Jarvan actually got the kill with the flag, or helping to get the kill, sorry, if that made the difference. But Fizz does pick me off, but I don't think I was on a spree, so it's not really worth the death. You're just feeding the Annie and the rest of our team even so more. Now, as I was making a joke in my team, we so greedy, and that's very true. We stayed way too long. We should have backed way earlier, as we won a fight, and then we continued to have a fight. And yeah, we should have backed sooner. And that's one thing you have to do, and that's one thing I notice when I'm watching people's bronze games. As I said, a friend of mine just started a solo queue recently, and he's relatively near silver. He's bronze 1 right now, and I think he'll be silver today or tomorrow or something along them lines. And that's one thing you see a lot when I'm watching these games is people stay way, way, way too long. They stay like even 3 odd minutes too long, and then they end up getting aced because the whole enemy team has respawned, bought, and everything. And they're like, oh, how did we get aced? It's like, well, you should have backed, bought items yourself, got full health, and then you're fine. But yeah, you see that quite a lot at that level. But yeah, you even see it at this level, obviously, as just you saw then. So again, I've nearly got 1500 gold. Think I'm waiting for the 1600 gold mark for Needlessly Large Rod. Now my build will follow in the fact that it either goes DFG next or it goes Death Cap next, depending how fed I am. If I'm not as fed, then I'll probably go DFG first. If I are very fed, then I'll be going Death Cap. Now Lulu is actually relatively caught out here, so we're looking for a free kill onto her. Get my spells on her. Now, I didn't have stun up that fight, but didn't need it, and we do manage to pick her off. And that was their oracles, but obviously oracles now goes through death nowadays. But even if you get them off the map, then it's a bonus. So I'm going to go back to base and pick up my Needlessly Large Rod. So right now this game is actually coming to basically its conclusion relatively soon, and it's been okay. In the fact that they had a 7-0 cannon at one point, and we've managed to deal with it okay, to be honest. And we have had a little bit of help from the Jarvan, managing to basically lock out the cannon with his ultimate. But that does help. It does happen, and you can stop it happening if you are the Jarvan by not ulting or ulting in the right situation. But yeah, we've been dealing with it okay. The Darius has made a small contribution to this game, like a positive one, not just a negative one. So I am going to head down bot lane again. Fizz misses his ult, unfortunately for him. Kennen moves in with his ultimate. Zhonya's any second, there you go. But I'm going to move in now and try and do as much as I can. Now I missed my Tibbers because I was expecting maybe a flash or something from Kennen. This game was like 3 days ago, so I have no idea what I was thinking with that Tibbers. Obviously, you can see I was actually aiming it with normal cast, and I still managed to miss it. So I have no idea. But anyway, that still gets us pressure onto the tower, using Tibbers as well to tank it, so the minions won't die straight away. Clearing up the minions as well as just taking out the inhib, and this is the first inhib of the game, being from bot tower. So really good, pretty good engage, but right now we're not at a huge strong advantage. As you can see, 3 of my members of my team are relatively low health. Now I don't know if this Fizz is planning to do something. I just back off, I suppose. As I was saying, you don't want to stay too long. Seeing if I could just get free Q, and I do, and that's 1 Q, and that did quite a lot of damage. Pretty good damage right now, having just over 300 AP, having 309 AP, and relatively close to death cap. I think I'll be about 1500 gold, I think it is, around that mark off. Now, moving over just to pick up the blue buff, Evelyn's taking the top farm, which is fine. Now, they are going to take Dragon, and I think we actually let them take Dragon. Yeah, as you can see in chat, I'm like, let them have it. Which is something you just have to make sure you call to your team. Now, it's no point all running there and you're only 3 of you or something along them lines when the whole team is 5. Even though we're ahead, we're not that ahead. Like, kills-wise, it's close, but I'd say in objectives, etc., that's where we actually have our lead. Darius gets a little bit caught there, but they do decide to back off. I would guess because they don't have vision there, so they don't know if we're all waiting there. That would be my biggest guess. Now, if I had Tibbers up, I probably would look for something there. Now, Tristana actually did quite a lot of damage. She did use that blade on me there, which probably is a big reason why she did so much damage. But yeah, it's a Tristana. It's near late game, so she'll be doing hella damage. And that's the target we basically definitely need to kill first, or relatively near the start. If not, we can just burst their tanks, and then Tristana is basically left alone. That's something, again, that you have to make the decision of. Are you just going to absolutely nuke the tanks, so then they're just free and open? If they continue to fight you, then you'll just jump on their faces, or will you just simply kill them? Now again, we're looking for an engage. Now again, I fail my Tibbers, so that was really bad by myself. I flashed for that as well, but I do think we've managed to pick up this kill. I don't think it goes totally unthingy. Kennen moves in from the bottom, and I think we managed to pick him up. No, he flashes away. So that wasn't a great fight, to be honest. That ult, again, me and Nami are not very good with our ults this game, I will actually admit. So unfortunately, we both fluff our ults. Fizz is looking to try and stay alive, but not today. I managed to actually pick up that kill myself. So yeah, as you see in chat, Nami was like, my ult's the best MVP, and I think I actually might make a comment, no, my ult is the best. And yeah, it's pretty funny. It's always good when you can have a joke with people, and that's one thing you actually have to see. As you can see, I'm not pretending that was good, and that's what a lot of people do who make commentaries, etc. They pretend that, oh, they did everything well. No, that was really bad. I'm not even going to try and shy away from that. That was terrible. Now, I don't know. I think, yeah, I pick up 1 kill, and I'm still alive, and I'm still alive. I should put the song on there if it wasn't copyright. But yeah, Nami managed to get a good heal on me, and yeah, that was risky as I didn't have obviously communication. I don't even think I pinged to my team that I was going in, but I did, and it did pay off. So oh well. Pick up the death cap. Now, so I'm even stronger. I think I might sell. Yeah, I sell one of my rings, and then I'm going to start building towards the DFG. So having just under 500 AP is when my AP is starting to really build up. Towards the 30-minute mark is where I'm pretty much going to one-shot basically anything on their team. Maybe not everything, maybe not Jarvan, maybe not him as a one-shot, but when I get DFG, then I'll be able to one-shot anything. And I don't think this game actually goes long enough to allow me to get DFG, as that would probably be pretty funny having me DFG in this game right now, as my Qs do a hell of damage, my W's doing a lot, and obviously the Tibbers, if I actually manage to hit it, would actually do a lot of damage. Now, for those who are wondering or don't know what the skin this is, it's Panda Annie. It came with all the Chinesey skins. I can't remember what other skins came at the same time, but it's probably the best Annie skin. I do actually have a quite funny Annie skin, which is Little Red Riding Annie, I think that's the full name. It's a legacy skin that was from many years ago and no longer available. But I did actually want to get Panda because it looks really nice. Now, I don't know what Jarvan is coming in. Bam my Tibbers and goodbye Tristana. So, basically that was my burst. She got caught in a bubble and a Nami ult. So, really well played by the Nami as well as my stun Tibbers, etc. Pick up a double kill, I think, overall, having the Tristana and the Kennen. And I think this is where we actually finished the game. So thanks for watching, guys. This was Annie. Hopefully you learned a little bit. Obviously I'm not professional with Annie, but I have done 2 games and got fed in both of them, so I'm fairly confident with her. And more videos to come soon. The Gragas one will be back relatively soon. Gragas guide, sorry, and more commentaries to come. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.